From BVTV Studios on the campus of Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, this is BVTV News. The midterm elections have come and gone. Thanks for joining us for this edition of BVTV News. I'm Guy Tannenbaum. Republicans have maintained control and actually extended their majority in the Senate, but Democrats have taken control of the House of Representatives, gaining more than the 23 seats that were needed to flip the House. According to the U.S. Election Project, the 2018 midterm election turnout will be the highest turnout for any midterm since 1970, with early projections as high as 47%. In arguably the most prominent Senate race this midterm, Congressman Beto O'Rourke's bid to unseat Senator Ted Cruz in Texas was unsuccessful. O'Rourke toured all of Texas's 254 counties, and his campaign gained momentum through millions of dollars in campaign donations. Viral videos of his events and speeches on social media also drew the national eye. But ultimately, Texas voters gave Senator Cruz a second term by a narrow margin of 2.6%. A remarkable number of firsts became relevant throughout the country last night. The number of women serving in the 116th Congress will be at a record high. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from the Bronx in New York is the youngest woman ever to be elected to Congress. 2 women from Kansas and New Mexico became the first Native American women to be elected to Congress, and 2 women from Minnesota and Michigan became the first female Muslim representatives. Jared Polis was elected governor of Colorado, becoming the first openly gay man to be elected as governor. Tennessee and Arizona will both send their first female senators to Congress, although the winner in the Arizona election is still up in the air. South Dakota and Maine also elected their first female governors. Turning now to local election results, voters here in Iowa's 4th Congressional District re-elected controversial Republican incumbent Congressman Steve King to his 9th term in the House of Representatives. In one of the more notable congressional races in the country, Democratic challenger J.D. Scholten made it a competitive race, unlike original projections that had King winning by a landslide. King only won by approximately 3 points, despite making national headlines for inflammatory statements and actions made throughout the campaign and his time in office, receiving criticism from both parties, including big corporations Purina, Intel, and Land O'Lakes cutting financial ties with the congressman. Elsewhere in Iowa, Democrats unseated 2 incumbent Republican representatives in congressional districts 1 and 3. Democrat Abby Finkenauer defeated Republican Rob Blum by 5 points in District 1, and in District 3, Republican David Young lost to Democrat Cindy Axne by 2.5 points. Democratic incumbent Dave Loebsack defeated Republican Christopher Peters to win re-election in Congressional District 2. In the gubernatorial election, incumbent Republican Governor Kim Reynolds defeated Democratic challenger Fred Hubbell by a margin of 3%. We now move from the election to news right here on the campus of BVU. On October 25th, Buena Vista University announced the merger of the School of Communication and Arts with the School of Social Science, Philosophy, and Religion for the 2019-2020 academic year. In collaboration with Tack reporter Jordan Daggs-Olson, our reporter Omar Alcorda has the story.
With the ever-increasing requirements given to secondary institutions by the government, BVU is trying to comply while keeping costs down at the same time. To do this, BVU is now moving to a 4-school model, including the School of Education, the School of Science, the School of Business, and the School of Liberal Arts. In addition to the restructuring, new deans were announced for each of the 4 schools, and their responsibilities have been altered. Prior to the merger, the deans of the School of Social Science and School of Communication and Arts were both part-time positions. Starting next year, however, the deans of each school will now be expected to oversee faculty and programs within their respective schools on the Storm Lake and satellite campuses, as well as online. The dean of the new School of Liberal Arts is Dr. Dixie Bartholomew Feiss, who currently serves as the dean of the School of Social Science, Philosophy, and Religion, and as a history professor at BVU. She says that the intention behind the merger is to enhance the university's academic programs.
So the university is looking at how to be stronger. How can we combine resources, which sometimes means faculty all in one unit, resources that can be financial, planning, brain power, to move forward, to provide more experiences for students and more experiences for faculty.
Dr. Wynn Goodfriend, the Assistant Dean for Graduate Programs and a psychology professor, says merging the two schools is the next step in the natural progression of the university.
I've been here for a total of 20 years now, if you include when I was a student and when I've been back as a faculty member. And I really love BVU. I think BVU is struggling right now with a little bit of sort of an identity crisis, and how do we advertise how great we are? We are doing so many wonderful things, but we're not getting the word out. And so I think that any kind of change like this could be viewed in an optimistic way of maybe this is the next chapter in BVU history.
In terms of what to expect for the School of Liberal Arts, both administrators and professors alike believe that students should expect not that great of a change. Students are reminded to stay calm as the official time of the merger continues. For BVTV News, I'm Omar Alcorta.
Thank you, Omar. Now, headlines from the Tack, the student news site of BVU. Unlike many schools, Buena Vista University's academic calendar includes a January interim session. Other schools tend to finish their academic year earlier as a result, including an optional May term in the spring after classes are let out. BVU's Academic Affairs Committee has been discussing changing the way the academic calendar looks in order to include a May term. Calendar issues for next year need to be decided by the end of the fall 2018 semester. Associate Dean of Faculty Dr. Peter Steinfeld and Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs Dr. Brian Lensmeyer are hoping that a decision can be reached by then. If a change is agreed upon, it could be implemented as soon as January of 2020. But if the discussion takes longer, however, the calendar may not be put into place until January of 2021. Buena Vista University has designed a new program for out-of-state students who are unable to travel to see their families very often, if at all, during the school year. Currently, there are 25 students participating in the Home Away from Home program, which is in its first year of providing BVU students a host family in the BV community as a source of local and family-like support during their time at college. A committee of staff, faculty, coaches, and students were assembled, and after seeing BVU's growing number of students coming to campus from further away, along with consistent reports of homesickness and other unique challenges of going to school far from home, the committee began the development of the program. Nathan Auden is BVU's new campus counselor. Originally from Wisconsin, Auden earned his degrees from Dordt College and John Brown University in Arkansas. Before coming to work at BVU, he's worked with kids ages 10 and older, as well as adults and families for different community mental health agencies. In addition to a new campus counselor, BVU has created a new intern position in the Office of Campus Counseling. Erin Fiala is currently finishing her graduate counseling degree and is available to meet with students on Mondays. Campus counseling services are free for students and are currently located in Swope Hall. At the start of 2019, campus counseling services will move to their permanent home in the Stevens Forum. On October 8th, student volunteers teamed up with Special Olympics Iowa to host the 6th annual Unified Sports Day at BVU. Located in the Lamberti Recreation Center, students and staff work together with Special Olympic athletes to create new friendships, improve self-esteem, and promote social inclusion through shared sports experiences. This year, over 100 volunteers registered to help the day run smoothly, an increase from previous years. Allie Hartman profiles BVU's women's basketball team. Last season, the women finished 4th in the conference while losing 4 pivotal players and 2 starters. This season, there's a new coaching staff led by head coach Dana Christian and a different group of seniors. Preseason rankings have the BVU women's basketball team at 7th in the conference. For more, check out bvtac.com for the full articles on each of our stories tonight, written by news editor Ella Wiebush, assistant news editor Jordan Daggs-Olson, and sports photographer Allie Hartman. The fall sports season is about wrapped up. For more on Beaver Athletics, let's send it to our very own sports reporter, Tanner Frost.
Tanner. The Buena Vista Athletic Fall Sports Year is 1 week away from being finished, and as the winter sports begin, many new stories arise. The Buena Vista football team lost a thriller last week against Nebraska Wesleyan, which ended up 32-25 in favor of the Prairie Wolves. Senior receiver Charlie Flickinger led the offense with 83 yards and a touchdown, while Reed Cruz totaled 11 tackles and an interception on defense. The Beavers fell to 1-8 after the game and finished their season this Saturday against the 6-3 Simpson Storm. It's also Senior Day on Saturday, so come and support the 9 seniors for their final game in J. Leslie Rollins Stadium. The men's soccer year ended up just short of their goal for a conference tournament bid as they dropped their last 2 American Rivers games of the season against Dubuque and Nebraska Wesleyan. Finishing the year at 1-16-1, head coach Ben MacArthur and the team also say goodbye to 6 key senior members. The women's soccer team ended the year at 1-14 overall and entered the offseason without coaches. Head coach Sheena Van Rokel and assistant coach Kyle King announced their resignations from their roles this past week and said goodbye to BV. The BV volleyball team ended the season in heartbreaking fashion here at home as they were knocked out of the conference tournament by Co in the first round 3-1. However, 3 members of the team earned all conference accolades. Junior Summer Goss claimed a first-team spot, while senior Kylie Rowe and freshman Sydney McLaren were honorable mention picks. The men's and women's cross-country teams are both preparing to finish their year strong at the D3 Regional Championships this Saturday. That meet will take place in Waverly and will begin at 11 o'clock. The Buena Vista wrestling team began their season this past Saturday, but fell short to number 13 ranked Loris. Though the Dewhawks won 32-6, the team lost a few close matches that could have swung their way. Seniors Brad Kirchhoff and Dylan Huntoon grabbed the pair of minor decisions for BVU. And finally, the BVU men's and women's basketball teams are still getting ready for their fast-approaching seasons. Both teams open in less than a week, and we're excited to see them start. That's all for Beaver Athletics this week. Back to you, Guy.
Thanks, Tanner. I'm excited for the football game this weekend. It should be a chilly one, but it should be really exciting. Thank you for tuning in to BVTV News tonight. For all of our crew here at BVTV Studios, I'm Guy Tannenbaum.